in that is one which can work in certain situations. I mean, it worked for Singapore and Malaysia. I'm not so sure it will work for Scotland. They're going to have a referendum. It might work for Scotland. I think if it's pursued strongly and quickly, it might work for Israel and Palestine. But in other cases, it cannot work, especially where you have a population which is very diverse, but which is economically fully integrated. I mean, we stood for partitioning in South Africa. There are many reasons why it didn't work, but one of the reasons is we became an economic homeland. We all needed each other, irrespective of race or color, to keep a growing economy going. And that made nonsense of the concept of partition. It made nonsense of saying there are white areas and black areas. Most areas became mixed areas. So we came to the conclusion at the early 80s, it's not going to work. We must drop the idea of separateness and division and partition. But for some it can work, but in most cases it's best to work out a solution how to deal with important minorities in one country. A recent study has shown, I think it was in 2008 or so, that of the 20 most serious violent conflicts in the world at that stage, only 2 were between countries. 18 were between people living in the same country. And apart from the challenge of poverty, that 1/3 of the world population is living below the breadline, I think that's a big challenge for the next century. The other challenge is, how do you manage diversity? Because more and more with globalization, countries become diverse. America, for instance, already it has Spanish-speaking majorities in a number of the 50 states of the United States. The percentage of Spanish speakers in America is going to increase dramatically. America, the melting pot, won't continue to work. America will have to say, how do we deal with this? Do we have Spanish schools? While children learn English where they are taught in Spanish? Do we have, as they already have in California and in New Mexico, Spanish TV channels? How do we make an important minority feel comfortable, that their concerns are being listened to, that they're getting consideration, that they are regarded not as strangers, but as a building block of the greater whole? That, I think, poses the second big challenge for the next century.